Welcome back to Good Morning Quad Cities at 11. We're taking your plant and garden questions with our plant and garden expert, Craig Oct. I wanted to know, we're getting close to Halloween. A lot of people want to get their yards ready. What should we be doing?
Well, like I've said through the whole season, this last fertilization, and this is the one that goes down right around Halloween. Normally we would like to have a couple of killing frosts, but you know, this year has been very unusual. Go ahead, put that fertilizer down now. It's cold enough, the grass isn't really growing well, but the roots and rhizomes are still moving because of the heat in the ground, so it really builds the lawn up. If you can only afford one fertilization a year, this is the one that you put on.
The one. All right.
Alrighty. And Barb asked, asparagus, I am reading, can be planted in the fall. How do I do that so they are planted correctly?
Well, asparagus gets planted 6 inches deep. Good luck finding crowns this time of the year. They're normally produced in spring, but you know, they're going to be as safe in your garden as sitting in a vault somewhere or a cooler somewhere, because I can guarantee you that the asparagus has already been dug for next year's planting. It's just being held in cold storage. So if you can find the crowns, remember, they do go 6 inches deep when you plant them.
Okay. Jim and Jen are asking, my ferns are getting too big for their pots. Can I separate them, and what do I do with them for winter?
Okay. Actually, I'd let them come through the winter. Ferns are one of the messiest house plants I've ever run into. Also, we're coming into this 16-week period of dark, cloudy weather. Plants aren't going to be doing a lot, so I would wait until spring. What you do is you take the fern and you just slice off the edges like you were slicing the edges off a cake. You move that to the center of the pot, plant it so the crown is right at the soil line, and you're off and running for another year. The center of the plant is probably dead anyway. They grow out. So it's the edge of the pot that's going to give you the best new growth, but I'd wait and do that in the spring.
And what's a foolproof way to keep pumpkins safe from squirrels?
Oh, good luck.
Is this another shotgun?
No, you could try. You could try. And I don't know anybody that's done it, but the repellents that we use on our plants in the garden, you can spray that on a pumpkin. It's not going to damage the pumpkin at all. Just remember, anytime you're using a repellent, you have to spray 4 days in a row to build that scent up so the animal doesn't go near the pumpkin.
Good tip there. Jeff, is now a good time to trim hydrangeas, and if so, how much?
Well, hydrangeas, if they're anything in the white line of the family, can be pruned now. I personally like to do it in the spring. You can take them down to about 6 inches above the ground. If you got pinks and blues, wait until next year. You could be cutting the flowers off that have already formed because they bloom quite well on old wood.
And Sharon asked, I need to know if I can plant hardy azalea. Azalea?
Azalea.
Oh, okay. That was close. Now, or do I need to keep it in the house?
Oh, if you have a hardy azalea, like I always say, these plants are much safer outside, in the ground, mulched real well, let Mother Nature take care of them. You know, in the house, we're coming into the time of the year when the house is going to dry out like the Sahara Desert. And, you know, these outdoor plants are not thrilled with our indoor conditions during the winter. So I would be getting that plant in the ground, even if you have to lift it and move it again next spring. It's not going to put out enough roots at this time of the season that it's going to be damaged that much by retransplanting it in the spring.
Amy's asking, what do I need to do to protect my miniature rose in a pot from the weather?
Okay, if you have a miniature rose, go ahead and go out into a perennial border somewhere, dig a little hole. I mean, I assume that the miniature rose is not in that big of a pot, and you literally bury the pot in the ground and then mulch it like you would any other rose, so that once it freezes, it stays frozen, should come through the winter just fine.
All right, Craig, thank you so much for joining us again this week.
That's all the time we have, but be joined to join our Facebook Live each and every Wednesday to ask all of your burning plant and garden questions. We'll be right back.